What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse episode 186 for Thursday, August the 8th. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, joined as always by Rick. What's up?
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's Rick. I know, fucking. Here I was waiting for this to start up, and I fucked it up. It's Rick. I'm here to talk about games. Let's talk about games. I'm excited because THQ just had that presentation. They showed off a game I was really excited for. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Let's start where we always start, man. Tell people what you've been playing.
Okay. Fallout London came out.
I still haven't tried it yet. Is it good?
I didn't play it, but I did play Fallout 4. Well, it's because you had to do the whole downgrade shit, and I just didn't want to do any of that. So I was
that's why I haven't touched it yet either. I don't want to put up with that yet.
Yeah. So I just played straight just Fallout. I went into Fallout 4, modded the fuck out of it, and streamed that like a little bit. And
you got that CBBE. You got them titty mods.
Oh, I got CBBE. I got CBBE. There's this new one called Body Talk for the men. For the men out there. Yeah. Just because, I'm an equal opportunity modder here, man. If I'm going to do something for the ladies, I'm doing it for the men too.
So, you kind of got to, because if you just install CBB and nothing else, and all the female models have all these good textures and these new, body, these new models, and then vanilla guys, it looks super distracting.
Yeah.
It's super distracting. It's not consistent.
So I've been playing it on hardcore survival. Super fucked up. I added a bunch of enemies and creatures, weapons, damage through the roof.
Ooh.
Fucked up. It removed all the free power armors you get. Completely rebalanced the loot, so it's you get less of everything, less ammo, less weapons, less a bunch of shit. And so it's just significantly harder in a fucked up way, kind of just unfair. And realized my mistake, and I had to dial it back. I had to start over and just dial it back because it was just raw, man. It was just bad. It was just not good. I did it for 6 hours on this fucked up thing, and then realized my mistake, and was just because there were new creatures, new enemies and shit. So whenever one of those things would come out, with as much how I lessen the ammo, and I also reduce my special stat. You know how at the beginning of the game you get 15 points to distribute into your stats?
Oh yeah.
I made it so that you get no points. Everything starts at 0.
Ooh, that's fucked up.
Everything scales. Your stats scale based on how many of those points you have. So if you start at if you get 15 points, you'll get 15, extra carry weight, or more damage reduction or more health.
Yeah.
Based on what you put that shit into, and you get none of that when you start at 0. So it was just way more fucked up than it should have been. Combined with the fact that it was just less ammo, all the enemies had so much health that I just didn't have any ammo to deal with it. I took Codsworth with me because he has a fucking flamethrower, and he was useless. All the followers are useless. I'm what the fuck is going on? So I just had to dial it back, man. I was I went a little overboard on this, yeah. So I went and started over and just replayed the whole 6 hours that I did, and did that. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun being actually playing the game like a video game. You know what I mean? I'm not using VATS much, or I turned VATS into it just does slow-mo. So you still have to aim at everything, but it goes into slow-mo, and then you can cash in your critical hits whenever you want. And
I think that would be the best way to handle that, is turn into a or something.
Yeah,
that'd be the best way to handle, because right now, because I played a lot of Fallout 4 too when the Fallout show came out.
Yeah.
And the thing I hate about VATS, it's all or nothing. So like either you're investing points in VATS and that's your main way of dealing damage, or you're ignoring that and then everything VATS related.
Yeah.
So they definitely should have like made it like a bullet. So much cooler.
Yeah.
I feel like
and then just just the way I mod it, like I took a lot of stuff off the UI. So I can't see the, the compass. I can't see where enemies are. I took my ammo counter off.
Ooh.
I made it so I have to manually reload every time. So if I run out of ammo and keep shooting, it doesn't automatically reload. I have to actually hit the button to reload.
Oh, okay. So you did some shit, man.
Yeah, it just makes every fight way more tense. Enhance all the enemy AI, so they're like way smarter and they have like movement like with more tactics and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes you really just consider all of your options and really play it like a fucking like it's Call of Duty or something.
Oh, that's wild.
It's really cool, except for the part where like it's just completely unbalanced in every way. Yeah. So like that's the part I'm like trying to fix, but yeah, it's just been a lot of fun playing it like that. If anyone's curious, it's the main mod I'm using that it's like based around is called Lunar Fallout Overhaul, which is kind of like a top to bottom overhaul, just rebalance of like an entire game. And like everything I'm doing is kind of just built around that. So there's a good mod like if you're using like collections, there's a good collection on the Nexus that's kind of just built around all this like survival type shit.
See, that sounds dope, because like survival mode was kind of half baked when the game came out. Well,
yeah,
they didn't have it when the game came out. It was an update like a year later.
Yeah,
survival mode's like super. There's a ton of cool things I like about it, but there are some things that are just like stupid, not fun. No fast travel at all. Fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I turned on the fast travel. I turned on there's a thing where like you use a stim pack, and then for whatever reason you get like super thirsty, so you get caught in this loop of hitting a stim, drinking all your water, or like using a RadAway, and then you get like super hungry and you're like getting this loop of like, okay, I gotta use the stim, use all my water, use the RadAway, eat all my food. This is like
I kind of like that, because stim packs are meant to be this like, because it kind of takes stim packs off of being like the win button, you know what I mean? Because stim packs are the only, I think what survival mode does, if I remember correctly, is any healing you get from like food and stuff takes a minute, so it's over the course of like a couple minutes, not like seconds.
Yeah, which is enough, because then
which I
it's
like
not
that.
like an
But stim packs, but stim packs are like almost an instant heal, but you have that disadvantage of it making you like thirsty or hungry or something. And I think with RadAway it's the same thing. Like it takes away rads instantly, but it makes you more susceptible to like getting sick and some other shit too.
Yeah,
which I can get behind that.
I don't know if this mod does that, or I don't know if this mod does it, but it makes everything take a while to heal, even the stim packs and the RadAways and shit. Like it makes it take up like a minute or like at least 20 seconds to get like the full effect from all healing.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because I haven't played it in so long. But I hated like the no fast. Stupid. I don't care what anyone says. Fucking
no fast
at
travel,
least let me fast travel between like, I think we talked about this a ton of times, but there's a mod that turns fast travel on, but it's only between like bases, settlements you set up. I think that's like the best compromise there. Like, you can fast travel, but it has to be between like your supply route. And you still have to like eat and stuff, so you have to pack like, oh, you need this much food or this much water for this much travel. Like that would be the best way to handle it. At least I think so.
So
because no fast travel, fucking stupid way.
So it's a playthrough that I'm trying to I'm actually trying to finish this. And it's tough. It's rough. So
I don't even finish like vanilla. I don't even finish vanilla Fallout.
I got pretty close to the end. I got to a point where I was like, I feel like this is the end, and I don't want to finish it yet, so I'm not gonna finish it. It's like where you meet like Sean at the Institute. I don't know if that's a spoiler for you, but
so I've beaten the game before, but like I've beaten it exactly once, and I keep telling myself I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna replay it.
But I've never done the DLC or anything, so I hear that's where it gets good.
I've played like just the Far Hard. Played any of the other.
But yeah, so if you're curious about this playthrough, it's very entertaining. It's very entertaining to watch me scream at fucking this big ass dude. They're like the monsters that get added are so bad. It's bad because it throws like random ass like big ass fucking death claws in the middle of fucking like the starting area. It was so bad. Like I had to get rid of them. I had to get rid of it because it was just like, dude, this is the level 1 area. To put a level 45 death claw here, it was just so bad. They're not just death claws. They're like gator claws. Like they're like enemies from Far Harbor that they just brought into like the normal map. That is not ready to fight yet. There's like big ass fucking behemoth ass motherfuckers. They added Nemesis from Resident Evil. I'm like, you guys are fucked up. And like you'll just walk into like a toy store and it'll just be like a death claw in the basement. And you're like, what the fuck is this? So and then like I removed all the power armor, so you don't even get all that like free power armor. It's like it's rough, man. So like, yeah, it's like a struggle. You could watch me do that for about 6 or 7 hours, just screaming at everything that pops out.
Sounds fun. I'll check it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's about it.
We played some Diablo.
Yes, Diablo's so good. This new season is so good. I want to talk about it.
You're cutting out a little bit.
How about now?
That was okay.
How about now? Am I good? Are you good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think so.
Mic check. Boner, 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 boner. No, this new season of Diablo is fucking. Have you had a chance to like get super into it yet? Have you done any of the seasonal quests yet?
I did. I did everything I could do at the current difficulty I'm at. I just hit like level 50. I made another rogue. The problem, I'm having less fun building back up to where I was at the end of last season. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but like I'm just not having as much fun building up again as I was.
That's why you gotta mix it up, dude. That's why you gotta mix it up, dude. You can't be playing the same like class at every.
But what if I did though?
That's why you're not having fun building up the character. You're playing someone you just finished. That's why I finished last season as a druid, and I'm playing this season as a necromancer. I rotate between those. Those are my 2 favorite classes right now: necromancer and druid.
Yeah. No, I think you're cutting out. I think you're cutting out a lot. Yeah.
Hold on.
But
okay, how about now? How about now?
Okay.
How about now?
Well, you got to keep going because it's like
mic check. 1 2 1 2. Boner.
So far, so
mic
good.
check. Okay. But no, you gotta like rotate out characters. That's why you're not having fun, because you spent like I don't know how many hours like on the last season building up this rogue, and then I assume like trying to perfect them a little bit, make your gear better, get better numbers. Yeah. And then next season starts and you start that same character again. Like, yeah, that burnout's gonna happen.
Well, that's not but the thing is I had a lot of fun with that rogue, so I'm like, I'm gonna have more fun when I make it again.
Okay, that's your fault. That's where you fucked up. Like I knew fun. I wasn't gonna.
The problem is it's fun, but I don't know if they rebalance the like resource, because I'm just constantly. It's the same issue I had with the sorcerer in like the beginning of the fucking game. It's like I have no resource to like keep doing my shit, and so it's just not as much fun as it was when I felt like I had like so much resource. It's like it felt like it was something they fixed and then something they've unfixed in this season. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm constantly out of resource again, just like my season 1 sorcerer. And I don't know.
I couldn't tell you that because I don't know what goes into like the resources for like sorcerer and stuff. But
yeah,
I'm having fun with like I said, I'm playing Necromancer right now, and I'm not looking up any builds right now for this season. So what I'm doing, okay, I got the hiccups, is I'm just like fucking around and just putting on whatever gear comes in and just kind of building around like what shows up for me. So if I get like a gear with like I found a unique aspect that was like, oh, you can freeze, you have a chance of freezing people with shadow damage, and frozen enemies take like 100% more damage. I was like, cool, I'm reset speccing everything into shadow damage now.
Yeah.
And if I find another piece of gear or something different, I'm gonna just completely redo it. And I haven't had an issue with it, but I played Necromancer a lot, so I kind of know like what to fall on, what works, what doesn't work, how to like optimize my resources a little bit. So I think that's why I'm having a better time with it. But I can see Sorcerer just completely relying on their resource. I wouldn't even know what to fall back on once that runs out.
I'm like the rogue. I'm still the rogue, and it's like, but I didn't have this problem last season. I'm even doing the tempering, where like whenever I get the chance, I'm building like the resource based tempering blueprints, and it's still just not. I even have rogue has an ability where if you hit marked enemies, you get like infinite resource for like 5 seconds. But not only that, it completely refills it if it was out when it triggers. And it's still just not, it's not doing it. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I couldn't have been this fucked at level 50 last season. I don't remember feeling that. I don't know. I never read the patch notes, so I don't know if they changed anything, but I'm literally doing basically the same shit I did last time. And it just doesn't feel the same. It just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't play rogues, so I don't know like what the tricks are to like optimize your resource and stuff, what the build strategies are. But
the gimmick for this season is like I feel like there's two gimmicks. Because one of them is like a roguelike, almost like a roguelike-ish dungeon type shit, where you're going through and you're doing like tasks. They give you like a task. The task is always the same, but like manifest in different ways. It would be like gather 20 of these things, but this one is like an explosive barrier thing, or this one has a bunch of hands, or this one's just like an elite you have to kill. And then once you get to a gate, and then the gate will be like, it'll buff certain things and like debuff you in certain ways, but you get more resources out of it if you do like the harder option.
And at the end of the run, you could use, if you a successful run, I should say, end of the successful run, you can use those resources at Ether to like open up chests, and depending on how much resource you have, you can have better luck or better stats or more items, depending on how much you drop on it. It's super cool. I dig it. I've done a couple already just for the story, and I'm into it. But I'm told it gets exponentially bigger once you get to that end, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, because the ones that I've done have just been, even outside the story, there's only been like 2 zones. And I'm like, this should be longer and like badder. It's never long enough for it to really escalate into something where you're making real choices about, oh shit, if I take this one, I'm gonna get this huge debuff and it's gonna be really hard, but I get more shit out of it. But it's never been anything that's you really have to think about.
Yeah, I'm doing my third one. I'm doing my third one right now, just from the story directing me to it. And so far they haven't been too rough. Like I'm doing what everyone gives me the most ether, and it hasn't been too crazy. I wish it would let me stack them, like, because at every like gate it gives you like 2 options, like, oh, it could rain hellfire, or the next boss can do double damage or something. Yeah. But you can only choose one. It's like, fuck it, like let me choose both of them. Like let me choose both of them and like max out my ether gain. If I fuck it up, I fuck it up. That's on me. But let me make that choice.
Yeah, because there's that, but I think there's also another, like the real one is the Infernal Hordes mode.
Yeah,
and like that's the one where it's like a horde mode, and then between each wave is the same thing. You're picking like a thing, that has like buffs and debuffs and more rewards if you pick like a most dangerous one. And like that one, I haven't tried that yet. I don't know when or where that unlocks, but
I think that unlocks after you finish the seasonal story content. I think it unlocks after you finish the seasonal story content and when you go to World Rank 3, I think. That's what you have to do. I'll have to double check the patch notes for it, or the seasonal notes. But it's meant to be like end game. It's like that's what you're gonna be doing once you finish all the seasonal stuff. You'll just be doing those.
Yeah, everyone's saying that is the best content this game has ever had, and
I can believe it.
I'm like, okay, well, we'll see when we get there, because I don't know. Right now, I'm kind of like whatever.
I can believe it, man. Like this game is at its best when it's like letting you uninterruptedly like just slaughter mobs.
Yeah.
And horde mode was like the best. I'm a little upset it took them this long to come up with a horde mode, if I'm being honest with you. That should have been a thing like from the beginning. Yeah. And this is gonna be fun. Like I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. I can see myself having a lot of fun with that.
I stuck with the as tradition. I've stuck with the weed related names, and I called this character James Bong. so
fun. Once I get to like level 50, like and I have some time, we'll play a little bit.
Yeah. I just hit level 50.
47 right now.
I have to do the dungeon to unlock the next thing, and I'm like, I'm just feeling like I'm not ready. I'm just feeling like every other like last season around this time. I walked in that fucking dungeon. I was under leveled for it. Not under leveled, but like I was like level like 40. Like I did it at the minimum level you could do it. And I trounced those motherfuckers. I was like, it was no issue. But like now, even just thinking about it, I'm like, because just doing other content around level 50, I'm like, I don't feel ready for this. I just don't feel ready. Even though they're throwing gear at me. I already have like sacred gear before you're even supposed to be able to get it, because they just give it to you as part of like the season thing. Like I already have gear that's like crazy, but I don't feel strong enough. It's like weird as fuck. Like I just don't feel it.
Wow, that's wild. Like if you have sacred gear, I think you're fine. I'm pretty confident saying you'd be fine.
Yeah,
but I don't know how much this game's been balanced. Like I've been doing super well. I haven't had any issues with it. I literally died for the first time like right now, and I'm like level 47. And it's because I took on that this dungeon. I put that modifier like, oh, the boss deals like 50% more damage, and I can only have one chance to kill it. And he like one-shotted me right now. But that's the only time I've like died this entire like playthrough, I think. So yeah, it's been pretty easy for me for the most part.
I'm considering loading up some Path of Exile and just you know what I'm saying, when the Diablo don't hit for me, I just Path of Exile and
dude, I've tried other games and Diablo doesn't hit for me, and I can't find something to scratch that itch, dude. I've loaded up
that's crazy
Path of Exile. I've tried Diablo 2. Grim Dawn just had their new update. I played that actually hits pretty hard, the new Grim Dawn update. But it doesn't quite scratch the itch like Diablo does, dude. I don't know what it is. I don't know what this game does to me, but I can't. When I'm not playing Diablo 4, I'm playing Diablo 3. Like that's how bad it is for me, dude. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what the hold is it has on me. I think it's just because the game facilitates more like quick killing. Because when I play Diablo, I don't play to run dungeons. I don't play to do the campaign, to experience the story. I do it to like get to the max level as fast as possible and just optimize a build and fuck stuff up. Like that's how I play it. And I can do that in Diablo 3, right, by playing like adventure mode. I can do it in Diablo 4 by just doing seasonal stuff and skipping the campaign. And it's made it harder to play all other ARPGs because they don't focus on that. They focus on like trying to be a story and trying to like be a campaign, and I'm like, I'm not here for that. I'm not here to fuck with that. That's not what I'm playing this for.
I mean, yeah, but Diablo does too until you like finish it.
Yeah, until you finish it, and then like you never think about that again.
Yeah.
I've put, I don't even know how many hundreds of hours into Diablo in my life, and I can tell you like maybe less than like 2% of those hours have been like the campaign. Like I couldn't even tell you like what happened in the campaign for Diablo 4, if I'm being honest. I remember that chick lost an arm and she took off with that stone, and like that's it.
That's crazy that you don't remember diving into hell and then just the whole scene that was.
Yeah, I don't. It's
the thing
bad,
about Path of
I remember the
Exile
big snake. I remember that big ass snake, but that's about it.
Oh, that's not even. That's before hell.
Yeah.
No, the thing about Path of Exile mechanically for me, is it fixes the thing I'm like complaining about that here is like the resource shit, because in Path of Exile there's no cooldowns, there's no there's a resource, but you have a resource potion as well as a health potion. So if you run out of resource, you just hit your resource potion and you have like unlimited resource basically. And that's why it just feels fucking, you're just in the zone just constantly, because you're just constantly using shit, this resource based shit, all the time. You're never like resorting to your basic fucking shitty attacks. You're just constantly doing your flashy cool shit. Yeah. And it's just great. It's great.
I'll be honest, it takes a minute to get to that with Diablo, because there's a lot of optimization you need to do to like get to that point where it's like my resources don't have to be bothered with anymore.
Yeah, I just don't know what I'm doing wrong, because I've built all my gear to be resource based, you know, to be like reduce resource or to generate resource. Like I've built all my gear for that. I've done all the things I feel like I needed to do, but for whatever reason, I'm like running out of resource way more than I was with the same build last season. So I feel like they changed something. They must have changed something under the hood.
A huge part of it too is like the right aspects. Like a huge part of it is like finding the right aspects that like either eliminate like the resource cost for stuff or change the way the skills work so you can gain resource. Like there's a lot of like weird things under the hood you got to consider. It's not just like reducing resource costs or increasing your resource cap. It's like finding the right aspects that like jive with each other to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's basically the same build I had mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the aspects really did much for my resource. It was always just putting onto my gear, hey, this 50% less resource, you know, because the temper system, you carry your tempers over from the previous season, like all of that carries over. So I have all of that shit at like the max level.
Apparently that was a bug. Like that wasn't supposed to happen. So
I don't know if that was a bug. I thought they said that was like supposed to. It's like the tempers carry over, but the aspects don't. But the tempers are what like. The temper system is what like built my character, because it was all like damage, like it was all I focus on like, hey, everything's gonna have shadow damage, marksman damage, and then resource, and like I put all that shit on, and it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same. I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Still, I couldn't tell you. Like I said, I'm not playing the same character I was.
Yeah.
I'm playing a different class, so I'm having like different sets of like problems and things to consider. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't play rogue, so I couldn't tell you.
I'm gonna keep going, but
yeah,
you know, if it don't shape up pretty soon here, I'm Path of Exile on it. Just letting you know.
I'm gonna keep playing this. I'm gonna be playing this game till the day I die, or until Diablo 5 comes out. Like this game got its hooks in me. There's no letting up now.
I mean, realistically, for me, it's going to be Path of Exile 2 or Titan Quest 2.
Titan Quest 2 looks so good. Let's talk about that really quick because it looks so fucking good. Those of you who don't know, Titan Quest was a RPG that came out way back in the day. It was that a lot of people cite like, oh, there's ex Diablo devs, but this actually had like a ton of ex Diablo devs like making this. People considered this like Diablo 3 before Diablo 3 came out, before Grim Dawn came out. And it's unique because it's using like Greek mythology, so it's not the standard like heaven hell thing like Diablo does, or that a bunch of other ARPGs try to rip off. It's Greek mythology, which is cool. So I played a bit of it, the original. I played the shittiest version though. I played the Switch version, so I got it on
Steam during the last sale. They had the Steam, they had the game, and all the DLC was like 90% off. And I was like,
that game's still getting DLC. Like that game's crazy. It's still getting DLC.
Yeah.
But no, it's pretty dope. Like it's a fun game. Like I played it on Switch, which is objectively probably like the worst version of that game to play. But I had fun with it. It's super similar to Grim Dawn. Like Grim Dawn is straight up just ripped from that game's engine. So if you like Grim Dawn, you like this. And it's fun. That's all I can say. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of customization, how you want to build your build out. It's got a lot of old school ARPG eccentricities though, so you can really fuck yourself if you're not putting your points in the right place. That's super annoying, but it's still fun. I like what I was playing. Now, THQ Nordic owns the rights to Titan Quest, and they just announced Titan Quest 2. And we just got to see some first gameplay. And I got to say, it looks dope. It looks really good.
Yeah.
I like the skill customization. You can kind of build your skills out however you want. I like that a lot. Like that customization really gets me excited. So I can't wait to see how that comes out.
There's like an augment system where you have a certain amount of points to distribute like modifiers to your shit, and like that looks interesting because then you can kind of just mix and match shit and kind of like optimize. Like this one costs 4 points but it's real powerful, but this one costs 2 points and you can maybe slot something else in there along with it. And like that's really cool.
Yeah, there's some cool shit in there, so I'm excited to play it, to try it out. That's all I can say. It looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks fun. It looks strong. I think I'll like it. I'm probably gonna pick it up. Dude, I want something that's gonna scratch that Diablo itch, and I haven't found anything that has yet.
I don't know.
Last Epoch looks good.
Doesn't do it, then.
Yeah, I think the only problem is that Path of Exile is like too complicated. Like there's too much to consider in Path of Exile.
It seems like it at first, but all you have to do like follow a guide or just pull up like Path of Building, which it's like a lot, I guess, but I don't know. That's the thing I like about it, because I feel like I'm much more connected to my character when I'm like making all these decisions and really analyzing the tree. And then you can reset.
I feel like that's my problem.
You can reset it at any point.
Yeah, I think that's my problem. I let myself get too like, I guess like paralyzed by choice in that game.
Yeah.
That I have to make like choices on where to put points, and then I got to make choices where to go on the tree, and I got to relate that to like the gear I get. Then I got to make that choice like, okay, what gear do I want to equip? What kind of character do I want to do? And I think my problem is that I go into the game like I want to do this with my character, and when the gear doesn't facilitate that, I get like annoyed.
The thing is, you're going to fuck it up because you don't know what's possible yet. That was like me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know what I'd wanted until I actually like played it for a bunch, and then once you play it the first time, you're like, oh shit, there's all this shit I can do. And then that way, when you make a new character, you're like, okay, you go in with that knowledge of, okay, now I have like an idea of exactly what I want to try to do. So we're gonna try that this time, and it just has like a lot more freedom and a lot more just room for you to kind of experiment with things in a way that like Diablo just doesn't. That's why you make the same fucking character every time, or that's what I'm doing. Like in Diablo, like I made 2 of the same fucking sorcerers, and I made 2 of the same fucking rogues now. And but with Path of Exile, you kind of just fall into something that you didn't really expect. Like I didn't know that I can make like a bow poison type shit. It was like weird where I ended up falling into Path of Exile, but it was like cool as shit. It was cool as shit.
Yeah, and I think that's what I gotta do. I gotta just like let myself just kind of fall into something and worry about like optimizing it later. Like once I know more about how the game works.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm not gonna say it's not fun. Like I had fun with what I was playing, but Yeah, it's taking a while to like really jive with me, and it doesn't quite hit the same like highs Diablo was for me. But again, I acknowledge that's a me problem. Like that's exclusively a me problem.
But yeah, Last Epoch is like in the middle. It's like in between Diablo and Path of Exile in terms of its complexity. Like in that game, all the skills themselves have trees on it where you modify them, and they level up like as you use them, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, and so you can augment your like skills to be like, okay, now I'm gonna branch this way, and so it's like now it's elemental, and like now it's like fire elemental, and now this like my whirlwind is like a fire whirlwind, or you know, if I go this way, it branches out into doing like, well, now my whirlwind is like a tornado, and it's like big and shit. It's like it's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's what I gotta do. Then I just gotta like let points fall where they fall, let gear, you know, roll as it rolls, and just kind of roll with the punches there on it, and then optimize later, or worry about optimizing later once I have an idea of what I want to do.
Yeah,
because it's fun. It's a fun game. Like it is legitimately a really fun game. You can get a lot of mileage out of it. I've got a lot of mileage out of it just restarting it and trying out different shit, and then getting like overwhelmed and going back to something I know. And I haven't had to put any money down on it, so that's cool.
All these games influence each other. That's the cool thing is like, you know, one of them would do something and the other one, like they just added, I think they just added like a trading system, or not trading, but like a marketplace to Path of Exile or something.
Oh, yeah?
I think so. People were saying like, oh man, they should have had this from the beginning. Why did it take them so long? They added something like that. So they can actually trade items or sell items or some shit.
Yeah. So I just gotta give it a shot. Another like honest like shot. Try to just play through it without getting too worried about what I want to do or how I want to optimize it. Just like I said, let stuff fall where it falls. Roll with it. Play it with that, and then worry about optimizing later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. Also, like Wreckfest is another thing that got announced too, but I don't care. THQ Nordic didn't have too much stuff I cared about. Like Titan Quest 2 was like the biggest one that I wanted to talk about.
Wreckfest is great.
Yeah, is it? What is it?
Well, it's from the guys that Wreckfest. If you never heard of Wreckfest, it had a weird rollout, man, because it was teased as like the next car game from Bugbear. And Bugbear are the guys that made the Flat Out games.
Yeah.
So during the rollout of Wreckfest, what Wreckfest eventually became, it was just called Next Car Game, and they put these teasers out of just these just destructible cars and just a playground that you can just destroy the cars, and that's like kind of all it was like a little like teaser playground type shit. And then so as they worked on the game, they finally put it out as Wreckfest, and this is like this destruction derby multiplayer racing game where physics heavy, man. And that's kind of the coolest thing about it is it's like very physics, not just in like the destruction, but also just the way the cars handle, and as you destroy shit, it handles all differently. And so they really like put a focus on just like destructing. They have like actual destruction derby modes where you just go in a ring full of like 20 other players, and just whoever's like the last alive wins. But you can just mix and match different like types of vehicles. There's like lawnmowers that you can put up against like trash compactors, and it's like, yeah, lawnmowers versus trash compactors. Who's gonna win? Yeah, probably the trash cars. This trailer for this game, because I don't think anyone knew that this was coming, so it's like a surprise like announce of this. This is a terrible trailer. It doesn't really show what you want to see out of a game like this, which is just like shit breaking, shit just exploding and blowing up, because it's really good. If you ever play Wreckfest, it's been really cheap on Steam, so you just got to check it out because it's super fun. Just like it's like racing games, it's like track racing, except shit just gets destroyed. And the tracks are kind of designed in a way where like you do interlap, you like interlap with the other cars on the track. So if you're not careful, they purposely like drive the track into each other, like it just overlaps in a way where you're gonna like cross over each other. So it's like they want you to crash almost. It's like that kind of game. It's super fun. It's just a ton of fun. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds dope.
Yeah, like it's one of those car games that's not like serious, you know. It's not like a Forza where you're actually trying to win, even though you are trying to win, but it's like just more fun because you just want to like fuck shit up. Yeah.
I'm down for that. I can get behind just something to fuck around with. Like that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like it does sound cool. THQ Nordic's like in a weird place because they're not like they're considered a AAA developer, but they make a lot of like niche borderline AA games. You know what I mean? Like they make all the SpongeBob platformers now.
Yeah.
That have been pretty well received. So then they did the Darksiders stuff. They announced a new Darksiders project.
Yeah, it was more like a teaser, but
yeah,
it is happening at least. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. So cool on them, like, you know, making some interesting stuff at least.
Yeah, they announced a bunch of stuff. Epic Mickey, Gothic, which I didn't see coming
at all. Like an Epic Mickey remake is like crazy.
Yeah, they had a whole showcase, but those were the two games that I was interested in mostly. So
yeah, I'm hyped. It looks pretty cool. Like there's some cool shit. Fucking Titan Quest looks good. Yeah, Titan Quest looks good. Torchlight's like kind of shitty. Don't play Torchlight.
They have that free to play one that is kind of well reviewed on Steam right now.
I don't know. I've tried Torchlight. Torchlight 2 was like the only one I really got into, and even then I was like, I could just be playing Diablo. Torchlight 2 is just like, people consider that to be the best one. It's still just diet Diablo 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, not a lot of reason to play it. So some other news. So what's this Intel shit? Because the link just takes me to the Build a PC subreddit. So what is this?
Okay. So this just blew up kind of this week. Intel's fuck. Let me try to find an actual like source. So the problem was that Intel's has defective 13th gen and 14th gen processors.
Oh no.
And they've known about the issue for at least a year. However, they've continued to sell the defective processors the entire time until they had gotten called out on it very recently. So that's the thing. That's the problem. So
Jesus, that is so annoying. Like
so now, so the reason I linked this PC part picker page is because now kind of people are coming out like, hey man, you know, I got this, I've been a huge Intel guy for the longest time, but now I'm wondering, you know, what's up with AMD? And it's just it makes me I've been thinking about like, okay, brand loyalty now. Like you guys so loyal to just having this Intel thing that even though they're fucking like absolutely defective right now, you can go to Gamers Nexus. They do pretty good coverage on like this type of stuff, and they really break down what the issues are. But they are absolutely defective. Like if you're gonna buy one of these things, you're fucked. If you have one, you're fucked. But not only that, they're like cutting jobs. They're trying to trim like $10 billion of spending within the next year. They cut 15,000 jobs the past week. So like Intel is just in a death spiral right now. So it's not just the fucking defective CPUs. It's also like they're fucking just in a death spiral right now. So all of that's happening. So people just like, oh, what should I like look at AMD now? And the answer is yes. The answer is probably like the answer's been yes for like quite some time. At least if you're like just like looking for like a gaming focused CPU, the answer's been AMD for like a few years now. Like Intel does just have like straight raw power if like that's what you're looking for, but AMD has like just performance to power ratio specifically for gaming. Like they've been in that sweet spot for quite some time now.
And that's so, something we talked about for a while too, is like brand loyalty. Like,
yeah, I think the problem is that people make the brand kind of their identity, maybe just subconsciously, you know, like they're not actively thinking, no, I'm an Intel guy. They're just like, it's just that kind of like all they know, so they're not really willing to look at anything else because,
well, I can tell you, like, I'm kind of an Intel guy, and I say that with like quotes because when I first built my computer, here's how the pipeline starts, right? You know, it's gonna start with you, like, I want to build a PC. What do I need to know? And you're still gonna Google like just some frequently asked questions, maybe, or like building PC for dummies, something like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're gonna take you down to Intel. Like that's what's advertised the most. That's what most people have. Most people can speak to that. So you learn a lot about Intel. You build your PC as like an Intel PC. And then from there going forward, it's like, well, I know a lot about Intel already, so I'll just stick with Intel. I know what works for Intel.
Yeah.
And you just stick with that. And like that's what happened to me. Like I just started looking up stuff. I'm like, okay, Intel seems to be the hot thing right now, so I'll build an Intel PC. And then from there, I'm just building off of that. I know about Intel quite a bit more than like I do about AMD. I don't know dick about AMD. So I just stick with that. And that's kind of how I became an Intel guy. But I'm not really an Intel guy. I just never got offered anything different.
Well, that's the thing. Like if I think it's different because Intel truly was in the top position. Yeah, like, they truly were better than AMD for a while. It's only like fairly recently where AMD is kind of overtaking them in kind of the just straight like gaming space, that like specific area for like gaming and like power consumption. Like they just have the more efficient chips for like a gaming related workload, whereas Intel just has just power, unlimited power. Like that's Intel right now. They just have like insane chips that just fucking are power hungry and just do that. So there was like this shift recently where like AMD did become kind of specifically the go-to for like gaming focused shit. But like if you're a consumer and you're doing your research, that you probably, that's the thing that you should be looking for when you're like researching whatever thing you're about to buy. It shouldn't just be like, well, there's Intel and I'm an Intel guy, so I'm buying Intel. Or like with anything, like I'm a PlayStation guy. Yeah,
no, I agree. Like that's why like I have an older Intel chip, so mine's fine. I'm safe from those defects. But I think I mentioned a couple of times, like if this thing ever goes out, or I need to like completely rebuild my rig, I'm gonna go AMD. Yeah, like I'm seriously considering AMD because of all the shit that's been going on. And you're right, like AMD has been just the leader for that, like the last couple of years. But I'm sure that's where it starts. Like people are just hesitant to like look into other things. You know, especially with like, you know, back to the PlayStation debate thing. Like I was a PlayStation guy forever, and seeing, you know, doing this show, we got to talk about what Xbox was doing, what Nintendo were doing. And I'm like, dude, Xbox has been so much more consumer friendly than PlayStation's been, like forever.
Yeah.
And it came to the point where like I had a choice to make for my next gen system. I chose an Xbox for that specific reason. And that's why like the idea of brand loyalty, fucking stupid. Brands don't give a fuck about you. Brands don't care about you as far as like what you spend on them. So you shouldn't care about brands as far as like what they provide you with the money you spend.
You see
Like,
it a
just leave
lot
it
with
there.
like PlayStation.
Yeah.
At least in the circles that we run in, a lot
Yeah.
of a lot of people that we fuck with are like PlayStation guys.
Yeah.
Almost to their like detriment, you know, like Ruben, friend of the show, Ruben would come in here and just be like, "Yeah, I haven't touched my PlayStation in like 3 months," and I'm like, "Yeah, man, well." He's like, "Yeah, I'm just playing Genshin." It's like, "Yeah, I bought a PS5 and I'm not using it." Yeah, it's like that, man. It's just like, I don't know. I wish people would just kind of just not just blindly buy things, or just do a little bit more research into what they're actually looking for. Like phones. Like phones are a perfect example, because you get people that just buy the same thing regardless of what. Samsung. I'm a Galaxy guy. I just buy the Galaxy, or I buy the iPhone. But for me, like when I buy a phone, it has to have the things that I need it to have, which is just two things. I need an SD card slot and I need a headphone jack. If you don't got those,
See,
I'm not buying it.
phones are tricky for me because like I've been an iPhone guy like forever. So like literally all my shit is on Apple.
Yeah.
Like I've been using iPhone for so long. Like I'm part of that ecosystem now. It'd be a pain in the ass for me to like step out of it.
That's how they get
like my
you.
wife and I are sharing like the Apple like music plan. I have a subscription. I have Apple like Family Pro or whatever, so I get like Apple TV and Apple Arcade. Like just to duck out of it now would be a huge pain in the ass. So I haven't done it. But Samsung's put out some like cool ass phones that look good. Like there's that new flip phone that looks fucking cool. I would love to have that, but I'm like, I gotta like completely redo all my shit. I gotta use a Google account. I'm gonna be paying for like multiple subscriptions now because I gotta pay for Spotify for me, Apple Music for my wife, because she's not gonna leave Apple.
But that's more of an issue with Apple. That's like a problem that's designed by Apple to keep you locked to their platform, because Google doesn't do that. Google has completely open shit. Everything on Android you can access off of an Android device. Like they don't lock you in like that. Like it's fucking stupid.
And I hate that.
Like Apple has designed it in a way where you cannot transfer your shit to anything else if it's not an iPhone. It's fucking like stupid. But that's how they get you. That's like the same way that like consoles work too. Is if you have like a huge digital library, or it makes it very difficult for you to switch to another platform because that library doesn't come along with you.
Exactly. That's why I had such a hesitancy like switching to Xbox, and I realized like, oh, the PS5 is not going to carry over all my shit anyway.
Yeah.
So why bother? If I'd been an Xbox guy from the beginning, all my shit would have carried over to the Xbox Series X, and that's why I switched over to it.
Like that's a legit argument that no one ever gives when you question them on why they bought.
And no one ever gives that when you ask them about it. It's like, but Last of Us though, but Spider-Man though. Like great, Last of Us is on PC now, and so is like Spider-Man. So what have you got? What else you got? But it's and that's why like I moved over to like Xbox when I did, because I was realizing like how much better Xbox was. And luckily I was kind of phasing out my PlayStation. When I built my PC, I built my PC basically to like be my main gaming machine. And that works even better with Xbox because I could pay one subscription. I got Game Pass for my PC and my Xbox. So that's even better. Like, there's a ton of reasons I switched over to it. But brand loyalty as a concept is fucking ridiculous. Like I don't see any reason to stick with one brand. Like any brand is fucking ridiculous to stick with. It doesn't matter whether it's like your gaming, your insurance, your phone provider. Like look around, switch often. That's my advice for everybody. I know it's harder if all your boys are playing on PlayStation, but like if it's better for you, like just do it.
a lot of games are like going like the cross multi-platform route, so
which
it's
is
like
great.
they're making it easier, kind of. Well, because this is whole thing, like if you have like high school aged kids, there is this like stigma that you're not in the group because all the other kids have like this thing, and it's like there is like this exclusionary thing that happens in like the like high school age, that's like kind of fucked up. So like,
yeah, that's true. So I can see where that, like, you start them off early.
yeah,
But if you're an adult, like, just fucking get what looks better. I had my cousin reach out to me because he was thinking of getting a PlayStation 5. And he was like, but it's so expensive. I got to buy all these games for it. And I'm like, you get an Xbox. And he was like, well, why? And I had to explain to him, like, what Game Pass was. He didn't even know what Game Pass was. And he was like, oh, shit. I should just get an Xbox then. I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, you can get an Xbox Series X right now. It comes with a month of Game Pass. Out of the box, you type in that code for Game Pass. You can play all the Halo games, all the Gears of War games that have ever come out. Like, you just have that in your library from the start when you have Game Pass. And he was like, okay.
To be fair, there is like a Game Pass equivalent on PlayStation.
Yeah, but it's shittier. It's shittier. And when he was getting this, yeah, when he did this, like, PlayStation didn't have it yet when he came to me for advice. So at the time it was like a no-brainer. But even then, like, PlayStation's like so much shittier because their library is really small compared to what Xbox has. They don't have any games day one.
Yeah.
Even though that's like a thing that they fucked with, but whatever. And
Xbox is like just the cheaper console too. So if you care about that.
Yeah, and that's what I told him to do, and he ended up doing that. He's happy with it. He's like so happy with it. He'll like hit me up and be like, "Yo, did you play this?" He'll like talk about the newest Game Pass game that came out, and he's like, "Yo, did you play this like whatever like that just came out?" And I'm like, "No, not yet." He's like, "Dude, it's dope." Like I went to hang out with him. He was playing fucking Broforce on Game Pass. I don't think that dude's like bought a game for his Xbox since he got it. If I'm being honest.
That's great. That's why I like Game Pass, man. It's like if you actually play video games, it's great.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not just looking for like the next fucking AAA bullshit, you know, if you just play games, it's fantastic because there's so much stuff on there.
There's so much stuff on there.
They just put the Crash Collection.
Yeah. Oh wait, the Crash Collection's on Game Pass now?
Yeah, they put it up, I think, yesterday.
Oh shit. Okay, cool then. See, there we go. Like, that's awesome. Like, and to be honest, like, that's a very specific like niche there. I wouldn't even say it's that specific, but if you're buying your PlayStation to be like if you're buying a console to be your Call of Duty, Madden, FIFA machine,
yeah,
fucking they're all gonna be the same shit. So it doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah.
But if you want like what's gonna be the best like for playing a bunch of games, Xbox all the way. Game Pass is a much better deal. I think Xbox Live is a much more stable system. It's cheaper, and again, I've talked about this a bunch of times because they're so far in second place. They got to work much harder, while PlayStation can just kind of coast on like being ahead of the game right now. That they're just introducing better stuff, more consumer-friendly stuff. It's the example I gave last time we talked about this, like Sam's Club versus Costco. Everyone has a Costco membership. Nobody has a Sam's Club membership. But Sam's Club is like better in every way over Costco because they have to work that much harder.
Yeah.
It's like almost the same thing with Xbox. And again, all these PlayStation heads are going to be like, but Last of Us though, but Spider-Man though. Like, I don't care. I am probably one of the world's biggest Spider-Man fans, and I'm still waiting for it to come out on PC. Like, I'm happy waiting for it to come out on PC.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out and buy a PlayStation for Spider-Man.
It's weird it's not on PC yet because it did leak. A version of it leaked a while ago. It feels like months ago.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it. So I'm gonna pick it up when it comes out on PC. Like that's gonna be like one of my buys. But
yeah,
again, like I don't have to buy a PlayStation for it. And I think the idea of like console exclusives might have sold systems back in the day, but that's not the case anymore. Because like nothing's exclusive anymore.
Yeah.
So to act like a console exclusive is the better choice, like that's insane. And if you want to talk exclusives, like PC's got the best exclusives. Get the fuck out of here. Like, come on. Objectively, PC has the best exclusives, the best way to play games.
Star
Citizen. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. Exactly. Like Minecraft was like exclusive to PC for like a long ass time.
It's not really the exclusives that move me anymore. It's just the options that I have.
Yeah, the options and the experience.
On PC, you have all the options that you get on Xbox or on PC. And then most of the options are on PlayStation or also on PC. And then a lot of the options, And then like, really the combination you have is a Nintendo and a PC. Yeah, and you have most of everything right there.
Yeah. I agree. If you have the money, go ahead and get everything, but how much time are you going to spend playing all that? Like, realistically,
it's such a waste.
Yeah, if I bought a PS5, like, I would never play it. Like, if I bought a PS5,
you would buy every console, and you'd have to get a subscription for every console, because they're on their own subscription. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, my brother's
play, like 3 games that only come out on that thing.
Yeah. My brother's like replaying Monster Hunter World right now, and he was like, "Yo, like boot it up. It's crossplay on PS4, so you can play with me on my PS5." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't have a subscription anymore. I'm not gonna pay for a subscription again to play one game with you. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
I was like, "Get it on PC. You have a PC. Get it on PC." He doesn't want to do that.
That subscription shit is, I don't know why people deal with that anymore. I'm so over subscriptions in general, man. Like, I don't even do like Netflix or anything. I'm just so over subscriptions, man. Like, the only one I do is Game Pass, and like that's it.
I have subscriptions for a couple of things. It's because like, so I have like Apple whatever. So I have like Apple Arcade, Apple Music, Apple TV, but it's all like one subscription. And it's for a whole family plan. It's like my wife and I like can both benefit from it, so that's okay for me. I have Switch Online, like the family member plus plan or whatever, and my brothers and my cousins, like we max that out. Like we have the max amount of members on it. Everyone's pitching in for it, so it's not that much. We pay like maybe like $10-15 a year each, and then we have it, so it's worth it.
I guess what I mean is I'm not going to pay for something that I can get for free.
Yeah.
Or no, like that's fine. Steam doesn't charge me a subscription to play anything online, so that's why I'm going to play my shit.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I have it for my Xbox. It's only because like it's bundled in with like my PC Game Pass, so
yeah.
So it makes sense just to have it. I fuck with a lot of subscriptions though. Like I have a Crunchyroll, I have a Netflix. But it's only because like, so my brothers and my mom and like, we all have like a organized subscription plan here. So like I pay for like Netflix and Crunchyroll. My mom has like HBO. My brother has Disney. We all just like share passwords. So that's the only reason why like it's, it's the only reason why it's like feasible.
They're going to come down on you on that, man.
Probably. When they do, I'll just start pirating shit again. Like, let them. I'm just gonna. The only reason I stopped pirating stuff is because like subscriptions and streaming were just as viable, and it wasn't too outrageous. As soon as that stops being the case, I'm going back to pirating. Like, there's plenty of options. It's super easy to do now. Like,
yeah.
And that's the problem. Is like it's not like feasible anymore. Like I remember reading this article like way back in the day when like Netflix was like the only streaming service available, and Breaking Bad was the most pirated show on Pirate Bay forever until it dropped on Netflix. And then it got knocked off for like Game of Thrones. So, yeah, it's what they need to do if they want to crack down on this is like make their services competitive with piracy. Nobody wants to pirate stuff. It's just the easiest way to get everything right now.
Yeah.
As soon as that stops being the case, people will stop pirating. It's happened before.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. While we're at it, don't pirate games too. Fuck it. Like I don't care. Except the indie games. If you're pirating an indie game, you're a piece of shit. Don't pirate an indie game.
Sometimes you just look. I pirated Outer Wilds before.
Really?
Yeah, I pirated that shit, and then I played it, and I was like, bro, I gotta buy this. And then I ended up buying it like 5 times. I bought it on Epic, then I bought it on Steam, and I bought it for like every friend in my fucking friends list.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
sometimes you know, piracy, like that's why like piracy isn't always a lost sale. Sometimes it's like you make a sale when you pirate something.
Yeah.
I bought that game like 5-6 times, dude.
There's this article I was reading about like piracy and because I guess piracy is like super common in Latin American countries like Brazil, Puerto Rico, Mexico.
Yeah.
I say Puerto Rico, but it's a U.S. territory, whatever. So more like in Brazil and like Mexico. And because of that, it's actually the only way like some people can get any gaming experience at all. And they interview people like privately, anonymously. They didn't want to be made public, and they've admitted like, oh yeah, my love for gaming came from like pirating SNES ROMs like back in the day.
Yeah.
And because of that, I was able to pivot that into like a career in game development.
Yeah, man. I just say do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna argue if it's a indie game, if you can afford to buy it, just get it. Like don't. Indie games have such small teams already that they really feel the effect of that lost sale. And it's at the point where like some indie game like devs have complained that like of Twitch because their game is more story driven. So people watch like some streamer play it and then they have no reason to buy their game. So they have the opposite effect most people have, where like you see a streamer playing a game and you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy that game now because the streamer makes it look cool.
Yeah, I would make the argument that if your game is so
uninspired.
yeah, if you can get your fill from it by just like watching someone else play it, then it's probably not.
I'll give you that.
I'm not trying to be fucking like an asshole here, but like if that's the kind of game you're putting out, then it's kind of more on you.
I'll give you that. That's a good argument. Like you gotta adapt to the market to an extent.
I put up like an Oxenfree, like my Oxenfree video is like it's a full playthrough of Oxenfree, but that game has so many choices and so many like different outcomes. Also, they added more after I put that video out. That it is kind of better for you to play it yourself than to like watch my playthrough of it, because I got like the worst ending. Like everybody died. Yeah, it was like terrible.
Yeah. Okay, now that's a good argument then. That's a good argument. I can't argue against that. What's this? Call of Duty papers about matchmaking. Is there something with the Call of Duty matchmaking?
Oh, you haven't seen this?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's been going around a little bit. So this is like fucking awesome, man, because we talk about this a little bit, and they've been doing stuff behind the scenes, just in the shadows, not telling anyone, but doing all this research behind the scenes that it just goes to show why Call of Duty is just so good at what it does and why everything else fucking sucks, is because they actually put the work in to have it be as good as it is. So
let's hear it.
For the past couple months, they've been putting out these white papers, which is just their research documents on how their matchmaking process works. From just breaking everything the fuck down on like how they prioritize a connection, or like the time to match, or like what impact or skill has on the matchmaking. They call it skill-based matchmaking. And the skill-based matchmaking part is part 2 of this. This is the second document they've released now. They've been putting these out for a couple months, and it's very interesting. Interesting on just because the whole matchmaking process of Call of Duty is just a highly debated process on whether they're doing it right or not. So they've been doing this research since I believe Modern Warfare 2007.
Oh yeah, Jesus. Okay. This.
So, but they haven't like told anyone about this until like just a couple months ago, when they put out like their first paper, and now they put out the second one specifically about skill-based matchmaking. Now, as you know, skill-based matchmaking has been a highly contested area of the matchmaking process. Like no one knows exactly how it works. No one knows like whether they like it or not. You know, XDefiant just came out, and one of their huge taglines or buzzwords about it is that there's no skill-based matchmaking. Yeah, just how you want. And like, so the Call of Duty staff, I don't know who's working on this shit, but whoever it is, like, kudos to them, because they're doing the actual research, and this is the important part, because they've laid out exactly, basically they did blind testing on just different groups of people, didn't tell anyone what they were doing, but basically the result is that when they turned off skill-based matchmaking, people had less fun and quit the game more often and didn't come back. And then when they had skill-based matchmaking, people enjoyed the game better and played for longer.
Which, like, it makes sense. Like, you're not just getting trounced by, like, people more skilled than you. You're, like, being put up against similar skill levels.
Yeah,
so the game's always got, like, a sense of, like, challenge and scale to it.
Yeah.
So the game doesn't get too easy. In theory, the game shouldn't get too easy. The game shouldn't get too hard.
They said the likelihood of a player to quit during a match increased significantly across 80% of players within the study. Within the study group, 90% of players in the loosened skill group did not return at a higher rate than the control group.
Now, see, there we go. Like, people, that's so funny to me. People are like, I don't like skill-based matchmaking. Actually, mathematically, scientifically here, you do.
Yeah.
You don't know it, but you do. That's so funny to me.
This indicated that low to mid skill players left the game in greater numbers. So that's the thing. Like, if you're the only people who benefit from the lack of skill-based matchmaking are the fucking sweaty motherfuckers who do nothing.
Top, but like 1% of players, like,
yeah, and the only reason they like it is because they can trounce all the fucking low skilled players, and you know, those guys, the top guys, are gonna have a great time, but everyone below them, which is everyone, is gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's so silly to consider. Like, it's not even. It's so silly to think, like, I don't like skill-based matchmaking. Like, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Unless you're like that top 1% of players, yes, you do. It's funny to me, like, the biggest critique of Call of Duty, and I've been guilty of making this critique, is that they make the same game every year and they don't learn from their last game. But here we go, showing that they actually do, like, very meticulously record data from one game to the next and use that for their next game. That's really neat.
And even like manipulates the data in a way that, or not manipulate the data, but just, you know, they have like controls, and like they're actively like experimenting with shit and doing the research on, okay, what are the results of, you know, what happens when we turn off skill-based matchmaking? Okay, what happens when we turn it back on? Like, that's the kind of shit that you kind of have to do to be successful at what you're doing at such a large scale like this, you know? Like, they didn't just luck into this. Like, there's actual research that goes into this, and that's like, that's highly respectable to me. You know, like, not only are they like the biggest and most successful at what they do, but there's a reason for it. It's because they actually care to do this research. You know, when XDefiant comes out and they're like, yeah, no skill-based matchmaking, it's like, that's not what people like. They're only doing that because they know people say that that's what they want, not actually knowing that, well, no, you don't want that, because here's why, and we did the research.
Yeah, exactly. That's super cool. Good on them for doing that. Like,
Yeah.
again, like it's easy to critique Call of Duty on a ton of different things, but when it comes to like multiplayer and matchmaking, like they know what they're doing. They've been doing this a long time.
Yeah. So this
Like-
this document is like 25 pages long, and it just breaks down. It is just
That's cool. That's fascinating. I love that.
yeah. So I would if you're interested, yeah, just give it a read, or just just read their summary. But
I will definitely check it out later today. After this show, I gotta go, but I will definitely check it out later today when I'm winding down for bed or something. It sounds super interesting. Game releases. Oh god, a lot is released. Let's get through this. So Thursday today, August 8th, we got Cat Quest 3.
yeah,
You're excited for this one, right?
Oh yeah, I already bought it. I bought it with the 3-pack. I got the 3-piece. Played through the first one, about halfway through the second one. Now this one's out.
Dope.
I'm ready.
Dope. Deathbound, Fate Stay Night Remastered. Oh my god. Komaju Ramilia, Scarlet Symphony, Moonless Moon, Princess Maker 2, Review Starlight, SteamWorld Heist 2. The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Isekai Chronicles, Shit Show, Zombie Police. I fucking hate that show,
bad?
dude.
Is it bad?
It's not great, dude. It's like the worst parts of like Isekai anime. Like, the dude is just so overpowered and there's no actual like stakes in this show. If you just want to see a dude just be like, I'm the strongest thing in the world right now for like fucking 30 episodes, go ahead, but it's not fun. I tried watching it to see if it would get better and it doesn't. It's like really annoying. I can see the appeal of it for other people who like want to put themselves into that fantasy, but doesn't make a compelling series, at least to me.
The game is actually, it's a side-scrolling action RPG city builder.
Get the fuck out of here. No, it's not.
That's a tag, Zaz. It actually looks fucking awesome.
Well, shit, okay.
Maybe this will be a good way to just get the story. Yeah.
The story's not good. Like, if you're playing this for the story, like... But I can see, like, the experience being there, though, because the main character's, like, this broken, overpowered, like, dude, so...
Yeah.
If you want to live that fantasy, this might be cool, but... Zombie Police, Christmas Dancing with Police Zombies. What the fuck is this? Like a visual novel? It's a visual novel mystery comedy game with zombies? Okay.
Of course it is.
It's interesting. When I heard this, I wasn't thinking, like, visual novel. I was thinking, like, rhythm game or something, but... Friday, August 9th, we have The Crush House dropping on PC. That sounds like a porn game. Is that a porn game?
I believe they showed
it's
this
a reality
game.
TV show game. Yeah, I remember this one. Yeah, we talked about this.
It looks real stupid, but
yeah, it's like a life sim, dating sim game, but the gimmick is that it's like a reality TV show.
yeah.
One of those really trashy ones. Okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, I wouldn't play it, but it's interesting. If I was into this genre, I think it would be a cool, like, fresh breath air or something.
Yeah.
August 12th, Monday, we got Shoulders of Giants Ultimate dropping on PS5. Tuesday, August 13th, we got Gyota dropping on a Nintendo Switch and PC. And August 14th, we got Green Hell dropping on PS5 and Series X. And Sam & Max, The Devil's Playhouse Remastered, dropping on PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. Yeah, so check out those releases. Sam & Max looks pretty cool. I never played Sam & Max, but
I believe they delisted the
originals.
Delisted the originals, yeah.
Yeah. But I actually heard this remaster was good, so...
Yeah, this is the first Sam & Max game I played. I had this on the PS Triple.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's check it out then. Looks cool. Looks cool. But yeah, that's going to do it for the show, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in, saying hi. You can catch us on Diablo. That's where you're going to catch me, at least. Wasabi will tell you where else you can catch us, though.
You Guys, you can go to Gamerverse.com, Gamerverse.com/Twitch, Gamerverse.com/YouTube, Gamerverse.com/Discord. Hop in that Discord and play some Diablo with us. Yeah, we'll be playing Diablo. I'll be playing Diablo.
Yeah.
Go on that YouTube, watch the Fallout 4 fucked up. That's what I called it too. I called it fucked up Fallout 4 survival. So search that. It's 18 plus because I used the word fuck in the title and the description. Yeah, they blocked it. So yeah. But that's on there. Gamerverse.com/radio. And we got a 24/7 radio of video game jams on there. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'll definitely check out the Fallout video for sure. I gotta head out. I can hear my wife and my son, and I'm like, ooh, she's having a hard time with him. But yeah, everybody, come check us out. Come say hi. You can catch me on Diablo probably late at night once my kid is sleeping, because I'm a dad, and that comes first.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone be cool, be safe, listen to each other, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.